Hi golfers, thanks for purchasing the Perfectstroke TPE 2.0 model putting training aid. I'd like to show you now how to put it together and give you a few tips on how to best use it. I'll open up the travel bag now and identify the components. I'll give you an idea of how to put them together. So first of all, you've got a carbon fibre rail that the putter shaft is going to run along. We have an alignment strip which is going to be positioned directly above the ball to give you an idea of the target line and to see if the ball starts directly on line and you've got the putter face aligned correctly at address. Then we have the base, reflective acrylic base, which enables you to be able to see shoulder alignment at address and then perhaps to monitor your shoulder action during the stroke. We also have two brackets here which attach to the base, and so the main L bracket attaches to the base like this, and then the slot bracket attaches to the L bracket like this, which is where we position the alignment strip underneath that. Set this up, we're just going to put the base in position. You're going to choose your L bracket and we're going to put that in first. So you're just going to line that up with those holes there. Tighten these bolts up finger tight, that's all we need. Don't need any tools to put this together. So we've got the L brackets in position. Now we're going to apply the slot brackets. So it's just a matter of getting the bolt and the wing nut that goes together with these, and we put this on the overside of the L bracket, not on this side, so it's this way. So now after you've got the base bracket and the slot bracket in position, you can attach the alignment strip. So you can either have it facing so that the groove is facing straight up, which is going to be the most prominent feature, or facing down. So here we're just going to get the groove facing straight up. So you're just going to use the bolt that comes out of that, and we go underneath the slot bracket, tighten that up, because we want to be able to move this along this whole range here in order to accommodate the lie angle of the putter, or the arm position of the player, or the hand position, eye position of the player. So we put that in position first, and then you're going to find that you're probably going to be doing a lot of practice in this sort of setup out on the practice green, but then we're going to attach the plain carbon fibre plain rail. So that's going to go now. The little thumb screw that comes out of that is going to go through both the L bracket and the slot bracket and fit in the receptacle there in the plain rail. Do that up. Okay, and then we can do up the next one on the other side. And what you'll find then, once we've done that up, that'll probably tighten the alignment strip as well. Okay, so there's the setup complete. After setting up the Perfectstroke for the first time, what you should experience is just how the putter shaft works along this rail and what that feels like. See if it feels any different to what you normally would experience in your putting stroke. We also need to ensure that you have the correct setting for the alignment strip. So what we're trying to do is set the shaft so that it's resting gently against the plain rail, and then hopefully you're going to be in a situation where the alignment strip is actually directly above the white line on your putter. So here's the ideal situation. The line on the putter is right in between the two lines in the centre of the alignment strip. So we want to have a situation where your eyes are pretty much directly over the ball. So the alignment strip is indicating your target line. So we want to be able to look down and see that any line that you have on your putter, if you do actually have a putter that has a line right here, we want to see that that line is right in between the two lines that are in the centre of the alignment strip. And you also want to ensure that with the shaft resting against the plain rail, that the putter is soled correctly flat on the ground. So we don't want to have a situation where the toe is up off the ground or the heel is up off the ground. We want to have a situation where your eyes are over the ball, the shaft is resting against the plane rail, you have the putter soled correctly. You need to ensure that you have the alignment strip exactly parallel to the plane rail and the base, and you're going to do that by ensuring you have it in exactly the same position on either end of the slot bracket. So you've got 3 little holes in the slot bracket to ensure that you've set the alignment strip in exactly the right position. So that's very important that you make sure that they're absolutely parallel. Now, you're also going to be doing some putting practice where the putter shaft is resting on the inside of the rail. So that's going to mean that you need to move the alignment strip in the appropriate amount. So once you have the correct setting, you want to just experience running the shaft back and forth along the alignment strip and see in fact what happens with the white line on the sweet spot of your putter. If you actually have an indicator right in the sweet spot, just notice what happens as far as the target line or the white line on the alignment strip. You should notice that that will move just a couple of millimeters to the inside on the backstroke. If you've taken it back as far as these reference points, these reference lines, and it'll move a little bit to the inside again on the forward stroke. You're also going to notice that the putter face will open a little bit in relation to the target, and then on the backstroke and then on the forward stroke, at the end of the forward stroke, it's going to face a little bit to the left. That's where we're going to use these little lines here as somewhat of an indicator of how much the putter face should be opening and closing during the stroke. So if I was to go as far back as this position here, we're going to be somewhere near matching that line on the base there. Putter head swung up into the inside, and then on the forward stroke, at the end of the forward stroke, it's going to swing up and to the inside again and somewhat match the line on the base. So without moving the alignment strip, I'm now just going to experience what it feels like to have the shaft on the inside of the rail. So sometimes it's worthwhile doing some practice like this, even without moving the alignment strip, just getting used to the feel of the shaft on the inside of the rail. So in fact, what this should feel exactly the same on the inside of the rail or the outside of the rail. It shouldn't make any difference. However, some people are going to be prone more to taking the club back on the inside. You're going to notice that the putter shaft will come off the rail in that case. Some people may take it off the rail on the backstroke and then crash into the plane rail on the forward stroke, being too much inside out. So also, if you're on this side, the far side of the alignment, the plane rail at address, if you come off the rail, obviously you're going outside on the backstroke. So again, you probably crash into the plane rail on the forward stroke. And so the stroke should feel the same, whether or not you're on the far side of the rail or the inside part of the rail. So if you choose to hit putts on the inside of the rail, you're going to adjust these little bolts here and slide the strip in to the appropriate position so that once again you've got everything parallel and you've got a situation where the sweet spot of the putter is directly underneath these two alignment guides here on the strip. So some people that perhaps take the putter head too far back, get it closed in the backstroke, may be better off doing some practice initially on the inside of the rail. But I would say you should be practicing equal amount outside of the rail, inside the rail. Perhaps do some strokes even where you've set the alignment strip a little bit further away than so you're not touching the plane rail at address. So you're not having contact with that plane rail, and then do some strokes and hopefully you don't touch the rail at all in the stroke, and yet you're still making the putter head swing slightly inside. Same spot, got the putter face aligned perfectly square to the strip there, so all things being equal, with good path, good face on path, I should return the putter face pretty square at impact and the ball should go in provided it's a straight putt. So again, really important to be training your eyes So this is the way I'd recommend you do a lot of your practice out on the actual practice putting green, where you remove the plane rail and you're just using the alignment strip here to ensure that you've got the putter face square at address. You've got the alignment strip to also make sure you've got your eyes in the correct position, and you can also see your shoulder alignment in the base there. So we can see that they're square, got the feet basically parallel as well. Looking down along the target line, we want to ensure that we can recognise that that is a square position for the putter face, okay, and then trust the stroke. It's really important that you do a lot of practice strokes on the inside of the rail. So that's what I'd say in developing, your motor patterns, that you're doing a lot of practice strokes either side of the rail. Perhaps you're varying the length of your backswing and through swings with different putts as well. So you're just trying to develop those, those movement patterns with your shoulders, your arms, and the connection to the putter. So on a braking putt, you're just aiming the training aid out to the right, to the intended aim point, and then making the same stroke as normal. Perfectstroke such that it will fit inside a regular golf bag or into a suitcase. So this is extremely important if you're planning to do any travelling and you want to continue to use the Perfectstroke, set it up in your hotel room or take it to the golf course when you're travelling to play tournaments. Very convenient that it does fit into a suitcase or a golf bag.